Hey, 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 happy Monday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by, amazingly enough, thegaminggang.com, of which I happen to be the founder and editor-in-chief. So welcome aboard. Tonight is Monday, March 7th, 2022. This is live stream 761. This is your first time joining me, let me point out. Super casual, just hanging out, talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news, and then taking a look at a game. So tonight, something a little bit different. We are actually going to take a peek at a mystery box. That's right. We are going to take a look at the Last Resort mystery box, which is from the Deadbolt Mystery Society. And we'll be diving on into this in just a few moments. If you haven't caught the stream before, let me point out, first part of the show, about first half or so, is devoted to the latest tabletop gaming. And then we jump on into taking a look at a game. Every once in a while, I'll do a review like I did last week. But for the most part, it's usually taking a look at a game or RPG book, what have you. So if you're watching live, please keep that in mind. If you're hanging out because you want to see Last Resort, kick back, relax. It'll be probably about 25 minutes or so, and then we will move on into that. If you are watching the stream any more than, say, 30 minutes after it ends, you should have timestamps. So if you'd like, you can skip ahead. You don't have to check out the tabletop gaming news. You can jump right ahead if you'd like. Sometimes, depending on what device you're actually watching on, the timestamps are actually right in the timeline of the video that you can jump through as well. So keep that in mind. Anyway, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central right here on YouTube. Also let you know when I upload other videos, such as my recent review of Pan Am from Funko Games. Yes, finally got that out. And I'd be holding it up right now, but it is sitting in my car because we played it over the weekend when we got together, when the part of the gang got together to play some games. So we had some fun, and I was asked to bring Pan Am with because somebody wanted to check it out. So we did, and they enjoyed it. So also, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Also, this is a live stream. So if you are watching live, that means there is chat available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. And you do have to be a subscriber to the channel for at least 48 hours before taking part in chat. Yet another way that I try to keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But if you want to say howdy, maybe you got a question, a comment, by all means, chime in. I will do my best to respond. First out the gate tonight was John Vogel, and the Motor City Madman is with us. That's right. The Madman, who is our current chat moderator. I may have to look at adding a new chat moderator, seeing that our pal Flaming Huron is probably not going to be able to be watching live anymore. Well, so all that pressure of carrying the banhammer falls to the madman right now. Mr. Eddie T is with us. So that should mean that Sarah D is lurking as well. Christopher Rush has popped into chat as well. Oh, there he goes. Christopher Rush is posting unusual comments. Gonna have to kick him out. Badman says that they need to check out the Pan Am review. Thought it looked like it could be fun. Out of the games that I got from Funko, it's actually my favorite. So, yeah, like Fast and Furious, I haven't reviewed. In fact, that was the first of the group of Funko games that I got that I've actually finally gotten a chance to get a review out for. But I have played a couple of the others. I played the Goonies, and I've played Fast and Furious. And, of course, I've also played Pan Am. I like Pan Am far and away above the others. The madman's giving Christopher a warning for those unusual comments. Yes, round up the usual suspects. There you go. Sarah D saying hi. And she can go back to lurking. Thanks for saying hello, Sarah. She just likes to hang around in the background. Sweet. All right. So we got chat off and running tonight. I am going to be jumping on into the news in just a second. Did want to just remind everybody that there's a new D&D book on the horizon. Supposed to be arriving on Wednesday. It is a Critical Role campaign book. So that's actually what we're going to be taking a peek at on Wednesday if it shows up. Because it's coming FedEx. And for some reason, FedEx, where I live, is always kind of screwed up, which is weird because FedEx used to be the shipping company you could rely on. But tomorrow, we are going to take a look at Magnet, the first city from Naylor Games. So this was sent along. This just arrived today. This is I believe it's a city building economic game, but I've also heard that it's a lot of fun, unlike many games about, economics and things like that. So we're going to take a look at that on tomorrow's show. All right, let's jump on into the news because arriving this summer from the op is Avatar: The Last Airbender Fire Nation Rising. Here's the latest on the game. Avatar: The Last Airbender Fire Nation Rising is a cooperative card and dice game for 1 to 5 players who take command of Avatar Aang, Katara, Sokka, Toph, and Zuko as they fight back against the Fire Nation to restore balance to the world. During the first part of the game, players will recruit heroes from the 4 nations and battle a variety of villains leading up to the Day of Black Sun, all while advancing their position on the balance track, while the villains advance on the matching ruin track. When either side reaches the top of their track, the Day of Black Sun event is triggered, giving a significant advantage to the side that reached the top. In the second phase, players continue as before, but must also now fight the final battles at Wulong Forest, the Fire Nation Palace, and Ba Sing Se in an attempt to end the 100-Year War. Players that stay ahead of the Fire Nation and succeed in all 3 battles will win the game. If any one team is completely defeated, or if 10 or more total heroes are defeated, the players cannot stop the Fire Nation and will have lost the game. At the start of each turn, the active player will choose one of 3 locations to visit. The Fire Nation will then attack, activating villain abilities in one location and damaging heroes in play. After resolving the attack, the active player will assemble a pool of dice based on their starting setup and additional hero card abilities. Players will roll and assign these dice in order to match symbols on hero and team abilities, hero cards they wish to recruit, villain cards they want to attack, and in Phase 2, final battles they must complete. Players match all of the symbols shown on a card to complete the related task. The difficulty level can be adjusted based on players' familiarity with the game and the degree of challenge desired. The Last Airbender Fire Nation Rising is for 1 to 5 players, ages 10 and up, plays in around 60 minutes. It's going to carry an MSRP of $49.99 when it arrives in Q3. This looks like this is very, very similar to Avengers Thanos Rising. So I gotta say that this is probably, although I'm trying to remember, I don't recall there being tracks that you followed along. Maybe there were. It's been a while since we played, but I actually thought Thanos Rising was pretty damn good. I thought it was a pretty good game, and I believe those mechanics have been used for another IP or two, and now it's being used for the Avatar: The Last Airbender. So it is an anime that I have not watched. I know very little about it. So I know it's, of course, super popular. Not as popular, I think, as it once was, but pretty sweet. If it's pretty much like I think it's going to be, it should be a pretty good game. All right. So some discussion about Netherdeep from Christopher Rush, taking a look at that. So the Madman says FedEx out by him in Michigan isn't very reliable either, although one driver always goes out of their way to be helpful. Christopher says where they live, FedEx just straight up seems to hate books. See, I've been lucky. The D&D books that I've gotten always come through FedEx, and they have never been damaged. Knock on wood. On to the next news piece. This July, Gale Force 9 will be releasing another board game based on Dune. Here's the skinny on Arrakis, Dawn of the Fremen. Arrakis, Dawn of the Fremen is a brutal, cutthroat game about tribal control of Arrakis more than 100 generations before the Atreides come to Arrakis. In the game, you control a tribe of Fremen warriors who are struggling to gather the scarce resources of Arrakis, develop the weapons and sieges you need to survive, and harness the power of sandworms for battle. Gameplay is split into 3 sections. Harj, the final part of the game setup in which players jockey for position. Initiation cycle, the first cycle of the game with a few restrictions to ease into gameplay. And then cycles. Each cycle is split into several phases, with cycles continuing until the game is won. You can conquer Arrakis in 2 ways: by controlling the winning number of sieges at the end of the action phase, or by unanimous decision of the council when all players agree that you cannot be prevented from winning. Arrakis Dawn of the Fremen is for 2 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays around 60 to 90 minutes, and will carry an MSRP of $60 when it arrives this summer. I wish there were more images to share for this, because with the layout that you're taking a look at right now, this does not look like a $60 game. Doesn't look like much at all. So I can't tell you. But it is a 4-player kind of I wouldn't say it's necessarily going to be a war game, although I'm going to guess that you can battle with the other tribes. But this could be a relatively solid strategy game. Like I said, I just wish there was, more that we could see of it. Speaking of Dune, pre-orders have begun for a new Dune Adventures in the Imperium campaign box set. Here's the dope on Agents of Doom. Arrakis is yours. Your house is to become the new governor of Arrakis in an alternate what-if scenario, where you must ensure the supply of the vital spice melange to the known universe. With the eyes of the entire Imperium watching your every move, can you retain control of the treasure of Arrakis? Or will this appointment spell the destruction of your house? The Agents of Dune Campaign Experience box set, say that 5 times fast, offers a complete introduction to the world of Dune and the Dune Adventures in the Imperium role-playing game. The box contains everything you need to start playing with no preparation required. Even if you're new to Dune or role-playing games, this set guides you through an epic story where your characters are the heroes. The Agents of Dune box set contains a complete 116-page adventure with step-by-step guidance as you play. 5 character folios for members of House Nagara, 2 50-card decks detailing NPCs, assets, and traits for use during play, a complete spice harvesting system to keep track of your successes or failures in running Arrakis, 3 handouts and 4 zone maps that bring the experience of Arrakis to your gaming table, 54 tokens and 2 trackers for momentum, threat, and determination. There's also 5 custom D20s featuring the symbol of the great sandworms of Arrakis. Also included in the box is a code to receive a free digital copy of the Dune Adventures in the Imperium core rulebook to expand your campaign even further after play. The Dune Adventures in the Imperium Agents of Dune box set will carry an MSRP of $82. It's going to begin shipping in June. Those who pre-order will receive the PDF as soon as it's available. And why are we sitting here looking at another image? Man, I'm telling you. Shouldn't have had that bundle of holding popping up. As far as the Arrakis Rise of the Fremen, the Madman says it looks less in that than what you get in a tiny epic game. Yeah, with a wee bitty footprint as well. So this is a big deal, I believe, for Modiphius Entertainment with this box set campaign. I gotta say, off the top of my head, I do not think that Modiphius Entertainment has released a campaign box set for any game previously, except maybe Conan? I'm not sure. I don't know. Doug Roberts has joined us in chat. Good to see you, Doug. Christopher says, this sounds pretty good. They love the Dune role-playing game, but they have to admit that sometimes they're nervous about writing their own storylines for that. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's kind of like Lord of the Rings. A lot of people like running Lord of the Rings role-playing, if either, the One Ring or the previously available Adventures in Middle-earth, or even Middle-earth role-playing if we go far enough back. But I remember a lot of people, a lot of game masters would actually be kind of scared of like creating their own storylines that took place during, that period. And I can see why, because, the stories are just so ingrained in most, geeks, memory banks. So I could kind of see that. But this is supposed to be a what if. It's an alternate scenario with a different house coming in and taking over Arrakis, as opposed to House Atreides doing that. On to our next role-playing game news, because there is a fresh print run of New Tales of the Miskatonic Valley for Call of Cthulhu that is up for crowdfunding for Stygian Fox. Here's the dope. First released by Miskatonic River Press in 2008, New Tales of the Miskatonic Valley was lauded as authentically Lovecraftian and much loved for its mood and style. In 2018, 778 backers helped Stygian Fox Publishing raise over £27,000 to make the second edition of NTOTMV a reality. They updated the rules. The 7th edition Call of Cthulhu including a new scenario by Seth Skurkowski, updated the entire book to full color, and after a lot of delays and missteps, released both the PDF and physical books to those 778 backers. They sold out of all the additional books as well that were printed, so this is where you come in. Lauded as authentically Lovecraftian, much love for its mood and style, New Tales of the Miskatonic Valley returns with a full-color second edition, with new art, varied formats, PDF, Kindle, softcover, and hardback, and an extra scenario. This volume makes its rightful return to print, uplifted to Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. There are 2 Tales of Arkham. The Reeling Midnight by Tom Lynch introduces investigators to Arkham's truly decadent party scene. Wasted Youth by Christopher Smith Adair explores the roots of juvenile delinquency, culminating in a wild chase through the wilderness. There is A Tale of Dunwich, Spirit of Industry by Oscar Rios, which takes investigators to the village of Dunwich, where they explore old murders and an ancient mystery. There's A Tale of Foxfield in Proof of Life by Keith Herber. It's a tale of extortion and madness in the Lovecraft County town of Foxfield. There's also 2 Tales from Kingsport with Malice Everlasting by Oscar Rios, which explores Kingsport, and old grudges. The Night War by Kevin Ross sees the author of Kingsport, City in the Mists revisit his creation when a veteran of the Great War is suddenly haunted by deadly nightmares. And there's also A Tale of Innsmouth, A Mother's Love by Seth Skorkowski, author of the Valdukin series. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. Takes us to the hidden town Innsmouth with all its squalor, dangers, and dark corruption, and a brand new scenario for the second edition of New Tales of the Miskatonic Valley. Keep in mind, this is really not a new edition. This is a new print run. So keep that in mind. Stygian Fox is proud to present a new edition of this much-loved volume of scenarios from Miskatonic River Press. I believe Stygian Fox now owns this book. You can score a copy of New Tales of the Miskatonic Valley in PDF for a $17 pledge on Indiegogo, or you can go all in for a full-color hardcover for a $53 pledge through March 31st. This crowdfunding project just started recently. Expected delivery of the PDF is April. I would assume it's because it's already done. And you should be able to receive your physical book in August. I like Stygian Fox. I got to be honest, I have not taken a look at all of their Call of Cthulhu adventures. I have reviewed a few, and they tend to be modern. Many of their adventures are modern. So I definitely dig the fact that these are all kind of classic 1920s era adventures. So that's very cool. Definitely like that quite a lot. And get 7 adventures if you're just grabbing the PDF. $17 pledge. I think, I'm not positive, but I think it is more than that on Drive-Thru RPG. So you would be getting a bit of a deal. Doug Roberts says they thought Arkham was a Batman thing. Actually, it is lifted from Lovecraft. Arkham Asylum is actually taken from, well, not the asylum part, but Arkham itself is actually taken from Lovecraft. So it is not a Batman thing. It is a Lovecraft thing. And because I remember when I started getting into reading Batman, I haven't read comics in a long time, but it's probably 20 years ago. And I encountered Arkham Asylum. I was like, what? I was like, hey, what? And then, I did a little research and found out that, yes, it was a bit of a tip of the cap to H.P. Lovecraft. My final news piece, Hunter the Vigil second edition. Yes, a true second edition, not a print run. Hunter the Vigil second edition is now available in print and PDF from Onyx Path Publishing and DriveThruRPG. Here's the scoop. You've stumbled into shadows. You know what lurks in darkness. There are more monsters tonight than ever before. It's time to fight back. Hunter presents a core set of rules and 3 options for gameplay for new or existing players. This game includes an overview of a hunter's world and lore, the types of hunters you can play, and 3 separate tiers of gameplay. 6 compacts and 6 conspiracies with endowments for tiered play. Character creation, rules to hunt, equipment, tilts, and conditions. Monster creation and locations where to hunt the strange and unexplained. The Slasher Chronicle, storyteller advice, and more is included. You can score the 298-page premium hardcover of Hunter the Vigil second edition for $69.99 over at DriveThruRPG, or just grab the PDF alone for $24.99. I guess there's been a lot of people who've been clamoring for a new edition of this. I know nothing about most World of Darkness releases. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is part of World of Darkness. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure it is. And of course, this allows the players to actually play humans fighting monsters as opposed to being monstrous types, as in most of the World of Darkness role-playing games. So, like I said, I had heard that there were a lot of people looking forward to a second edition of this. And as of the last time I took a peek, this is the #1 seller on DriveThruRPG. That's it for the news tonight. I was just talking about DriveThruRPG. Don't forget, the Gaming Gang, thus the Dispatch, is affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to visit, say, DriveThruRPG, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner ads. That way, if you happen to make a purchase, I get a little portion of that sale. All those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep thegaminggang.com around. Also, if you like this video, if you like the channel, if you dig visiting thegaminggang.com, essentially, if you like what I do, you can always buy me a cup of coffee or some soda by swinging on over to paypal.me/thegaminggang and making a small donation. And thankfully, there are quite a lot of people who use the banner ads on the website and who drop by to PayPal to make a quick little donation from time to time. And it really does help. And I seriously appreciate that as well, because if you are not overly familiar with the Gaming Gang, I do not run Kickstarters to stick around. Andy Sykes has joined us in chat. Russell Higgins is with us. See, did I miss anybody else? I think I am up to speed with everybody in chat. So I'm going to dive into Last Resort in just a moment. A couple of things I wanted to mention. So first off, I can't believe I have to say this again, but I am not here to be a gatekeeper to the hobby. I am not here to sit and vet every creator or publisher or designer or artist or anybody who reaches out and asks me to share coverage of something that they've got or ask me to do a review of something that they have produced. Now, if somebody was like, oh, well, they're, a molester or rapist or, some proven horrible person, then of course not. I'm not going to share anything about them. But I'm just so tired of people like, oh, well, do you know so-and-so? They're a white supremacist. Oh, do you know so-and-so? They're racist. They're a person of color, but they're racist against white people. I share news and reviews from creators, publishers, what have you, who are of all genders, all gender identities, all sexual orientations. I also share stuff from people from all spectrums of politics. They could be conservative, liberal, far right. Far right as I go to the left. Actually, I guess it would be for you, right? Far right. Right? It's like, I am doing it right. Far right, far left, dead center, apolitical. I share info about games from people of all races, all religions, all creeds. And if you don't like that, I don't care. I get so tired. There's a person who is also a content creator who seems to make it their business to always like point out, oh, do you know how, that person is far right and they're a white supremacist and blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, okay, so this person, I don't agree with them politically, but come on. It's like, I've said it before, if you needed to make sure that you only gamed with people who were exactly like you and your thoughts societally, politically, what have you, you'd be playing solo games all the time. So the Madman says they appreciate that I share the info and leave it up to the visitor, the viewer, to make up their own decisions whether to buy. Right. That's like I said, what drives me nuts are the people who accuse me and people my age of being gatekeepers and keeping people out of the hobby since the beginning, which of course they weren't around. These people weren't around, so they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, let's be honest. But the same people want to say that, people like me were gatekeepers, which I don't know about anybody else. I never was. People I play with never were. We had all different types of people at our tables playing games, and as long as they were a cool person, they were more than welcome to hang out with us and become friends with us or be our friends. So the same people who sit there and talk about, oh, don't gatekeepers and yada, 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 are the same ones who turn around to tell everybody, oh, don't look at this. Don't look at this news piece about somebody's game because I don't agree with them politically. Or how dare you share news about a game from somebody whose politics or, let's say, gender identity I disagree with, or I have like religious intolerance for. Same people are like, oh, don't be a gatekeeper. No, don't be a gatekeeper because they want to be the gatekeepers is what it really is. So, man, I can't believe I have to do it again. I have to point this out. I'm not here to vet everybody that I share news about or do reviews for. And part of the problem that we have these days is that everybody is so intolerant of any other thought process other than their own. And the thing is, you don't change people's minds by being intolerant. You change people's minds by having a real dialogue and finding out where they come from and why do they feel the way they do. And a lot of times it's misinformation. A lot of times it is misinformation, and you are not going to get the correct information in front of somebody if you don't engage with them. But, I'm just an old guy. I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, the other thing I was going to say, so I get this. This just goes to show you how, I love this hobby. I have a great time in this hobby. The vast majority of people who are involved in tabletop gaming are just fantastic. They're loads of fun. But there are some freaks out there, some real socially retarded types. I said socially retarded. I'm sort of freaking out for me using that R word. So I get this comment on one of the live streams from last week, and the person said, I'm gonna have to paraphrase because they deleted the comment, but it was along the lines. Well, there's some things I know exactly what they said. So it said, I get the greatest pleasure, that's verbatim, from seeing this Little League Baseball coach's videos get very few views, because who is he to think? Okay, now this is kind of the paraphrasing. Who does he think he is, thinking that he can turn gaming news into mainstream news? It's like, first of all, who in their right mind thinks that this is like, yeah, this is Jeff doing his CNN, doing his mainstream. It's Jeff at 7:00 on CNN talking about, mainstream news, which is gaming. So of course I replied and said, well, if you get the greatest pleasure from that, you need to get a life. It's like, oh no, the words were, nothing gives me greater pleasure. That was it. Nothing gives me greater pleasure. I was like, really? I didn't even care about the Little League Baseball coach thing. I've never been a Little League Baseball coach, but still. So after I put that reply up, they deleted the comment, because it's like, yeah, because you're an idiot. To sit there and say nothing gives you more pleasure than something stupid like that. And of course, it was somebody who doesn't have a channel, don't have any content, don't even have playlists that they're sharing. It's just some, random fuckhead just floating around out there. I don't know. Which leads me into the final quick thought. Every once in a while, I'll get somebody who emails me asking, hey, I'm thinking of getting into covering board games or role playing games or what have you. And they're like, do you have any advice? Which is kind of funny, because the vast majority of people who have outlets out there look at everybody else as the competition. I don't care. I really don't. So I have no idea what they would say, but I always tell people the one thing you got to keep in mind, and I don't even get that many comments that I would be like freaking out about. But I say the first thing, you got to have a thick skin, because everybody's a critic, and you'll just have people who, for no better reason than they got, nothing better to do, they'll talk schmack about you and, rip on you and stuff like that. That's the first thing I always tell everybody. Have thick skin. Remember, these people, they're nobodies. I don't mean nobodies. You don't know them. You're never going to meet them. Who cares what they think? Andy Sykes is with us, says, yep, in the early days, we were just glad to have fellow gamers. Didn't care a tot about their politics or sexuality or race. We were just grateful to find someone to play RPGs. Mehmet says, if nothing gives them greater pleasure, that must be a pretty pathetic life. Yep. That's what I said, man. You need a new life. Nothing gives you more pleasure. Jason Bradley is joining us. Keyboard warriors. Yeah, there's far too many of those out there. It's like, oh, I made a difference today because I tweeted something. You didn't do shit. It's like, come on. All righty then. So tonight we are going to be taking a first look at last. Oh, whoops. Hey, well, I almost forgot. See, I'm so busy talking about that. Coco B says, simple minds, simple pleasures, I guess. I was going to say, we're going to take a look at Last Resort from Deadbolt Mystery Society. But first, a quick intermission.
Hi, I'm Chili Dilly, the personality pickle. Packed in a jar for the freshest flavor. Served cold in a sack for you to savor. So dainty to eat, no muss, no fuss. An ideal snack for all of us. Crisp, tender, and tasty with a bit of spice. Buy one now. Taste how nice. Snack bar clerks will knock themselves silly, speeding your order for a real Chili Dilly.
There you have it, Chili Dilly. So I don't remember pickles at the concession stand, either at a drive-in or in a theater. But I saw something regarding the Chili Dilly where somebody had a Chili Dilly bag that the pickle would go into, I guess. And it was from 1974. And I'm like, okay, I think I remember like movies back that far. See, I remember as a kid going to see Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid at a drive-in. I remember that. And I was born in '67. So, but yeah, kind of like, oh, you know what? We're at the movies. I sure could go for a dill pickle. It's like, okay. Kathy Evans is with us in chat. Howdy, Kathy. Welcome aboard. Tonight we're taking a look at Last Resort from the Deadbolt Mystery Society. So, Deadbolt Mystery Society is a company that provides like one-shot mysteries, which is what Last Resort is. They also provide mystery box subscriptions with ongoing stories, ongoing cases that you can solve. Like I said, this is a one-shot. Last Resort does carry an MSRP of $26.99. It is rated a difficulty 6.5 out of 10 by the Deadbolt Mystery Society. So let's swing on over to the other camera because here I've got the box for Last Resort. It's relatively light. So a few things we're probably going to do a little bit differently is we're going to take a peek at some of this stuff, but we're not going to take a real close look at it simply because this is like a one-shot mystery sort of game. So I don't want to steal any thunder away from it if you were going to check this out. I am going to bring this over by my brother's house. My sister-in-law really likes the mystery games. In fact, she had played the Catch a Killer that I did a review for. After my group finished up with it, I gave it to her because you didn't have to cut anything up. You didn't have to tear anything up. So I gave that to her and the kids to check out, and they really enjoyed it. So I figure I will probably bring this on over and have my niece and nephew and sister-in-law try to solve the mystery with us. Let's open it on up. See what we got. Okay, so it says start here. So this looks like something, this looks like it's a little inflatable beach ball. So I believe, from my understanding, it's supposed to be a group of travel agents go to this like mysterious resort. Yeah, travel agents. This must be taking place in the 80s, right? So this looks like a little beach ball, a little inflatable beach ball. So Doug Roberts says they remember Chili Dillies. Cool. I was gonna say I don't recall those at all. So here we've got a card. So a collector's card. It tells us a little bit about the location that we're going to. So it's kind of a business card. Jason says they played a Murdy. English, Jeff. English. Use the English language. Jason says they played a murder mystery game for their 40th birthday. Her sister loved it. So for her birthday, they kept the characters but rewrote the plot. Nice. All right, so we got that. So we got a little start here. This I think I can share with you. So it says compare everything in your box to the contents list for the box you are working to make sure nothing's missing. Read everything. Our boxes are equal parts storytelling, puzzle solving, and good old-fashioned detective work. You never know when a detail, no matter how small, might be important. Look for things in the box that could feasibly connect to each other. Follow your instincts. Solve all the puzzles. This may seem like an obvious tip, but far too often we see the players try to finish our boxes without completing all of the puzzles. Puzzles give crucial information for the case. Many of our boxes employ the use of QR codes. Easiest way to read these are with a mobile phone. QR codes and files might be password protected. In order to gain access to these files, players need to solve puzzles or complete other components within the box to reveal the password. Just like with the exit games from Cosmos, sometimes the actual box itself provides clues. Like there's things on the box that you have to take a look at. That does not seem to be the case with this. Don't be afraid to use the hint files. So that's it's online for that. Utilize other members of the society. They maintain a hint group on Facebook. Because once you've solved the mystery for the month, check your plan. That's if you have a subscription plan. All right. So I know my best friend Elliot Miller got like a mystery subscription. I don't think it was from the Deadbolt Mystery Society, but his kids had kicked in together to buy him a subscription. I think it was like a year long. And I was over by his house one day and he was showing me all the stuff that came with it. I was like, holy cow. It was like a diary. It's like, geez. And it was actually kind of a creepy, sort of supernatural story. So that was kind of cool. Okay, so we're just going to take a quick peek. We're not going to dive too deeply in. So we've got a beginning brief. It's like a room service menu. We've got that. It's like we've got some NPCs. We've got some suspects, I'm guessing. Either that. Yeah, I wouldn't think it'd be the players. I would think these would be. So it tells what they are. Guests. I'll take a quick peek at a few of these. Probably says if they're an employee or guest. Staff. There you go. Staff. All right. So actually quite a few of these people. Some we've got guests as well. Questioning the staff. So we got. It looks like that's a clue at some point we might get. Is it a drink menu? No. Dinner conversation. Big and ice cream flavor. There you go. There's one of our QR codes. All right. Let's drop this on out. So we've got some envelopes. Says, do not open until instructed to do so. So we've got 1, 2. And then we've got supplies, which is 3. Also says, do not open until instructed to do so. So Let's put those back in. I know, not the most exciting unboxing because it's a mystery game. It's not, yeah, it's not like, oh, look, we're looking at miniatures and game pieces and boards and things like that. So I want to make sure that I put things back in the order they were there. All right. So this is the beginning briefs. This is the background. So I'm just going to share like the first paragraph here to take a peek at. Doug Roberts says, sounds like Hunt a Killer. That was it. That's the company. Why did I say Catch a Killer? It's Hunt a Killer, which I did a review for one of their standalones that we enjoyed it. So Doug says, it sounds like Hunt a Killer. You pay a monthly subscription. They mail you a box of clues so you can try and solve a murder every month. Yes. And some are like big, long, ongoing cases. So some are just one-shots that arrive every month. If you go take a peek at the Deadbolt Mystery Society website, they have quite a few, and they'll explain, is it a monthly subscription where you get a one-shot mystery every month? Is this an ongoing, like 12-part or 6-part mystery? Things like that. So it says the Williams Travel Agency employees work diligently to ensure that their clients have the best vacation. Their top destinations include Bali, Monte Carlo, and Vienna. Despite helping their clients travel to all corners of the globe, the team at WTA rarely gets the opportunity to take vacations of their own. That is exactly why Phoebe Williams, the founder and owner of the business, was planning a trip for her staff when a fortuitous letter arrived. Letter was from TM Industries. The company was offering their employees a chance to spend a week at their resort, the Refuge at Emerald Island. So I was right. So that is kind of the background, that the players are employees of this travel agency visiting a exclusive resort. So Jason points out there's a steam train in North Yorkshire that runs a 1920s murder mystery. Yeah, we used to have that kind of stuff in the Chicago area, well, at least in Chicago. We used to have those kind of things. There was one, it was Tony and Tina's wedding, and it was the same mystery, I believe, every time out. But it was like dinner theater, and it's supposed to be like some mobster's daughter getting married and somebody gets bumped off. Yeah, it's like How to Host a Murder, but it was something that was, professionally staged and everything else. So, all right, that is Last Resort from the Deadbolt Mystery Society. I will have a review of this in the very near future as well. So, tell you what I think. I don't know. It's difficulty 6.5 out of 10, so it's probably going to be beyond me. Be like, I don't know. Did I do it? Did I kill him? Maybe. Maybe I did it. Jason says, yeah, that's exactly kind of what the train is, too. Sweet. All right. Once again, check out. It is deadboltmysterysociety.com. If you want to take a peek at, and it looked like there was a bunch. Of stuff. So check it out. And once again, yes, it was Hunt a Killer, not Catch a Killer. But it's been so long. So it's like, but I got to point out that video has gotten a lot of views. I think it's like over 11,000 views on it. I may be the only person who ever reviewed something from him. I don't know. I have no idea. All righty. So that is it for this time out. Once again, don't forget, tomorrow, we went from a box that's pretty light to tomorrow we're going to be taking I got to back up just to get this in the shot. We're going to be taking a look at Magnet, the first city from Naylor Games. Show you the back, give you an idea of what we're looking at. So once again, as I pointed out, I believe this is kind of a economic city builder, or kind of like I think you're supposed to be like a real estate magnate. But I also hear that it's a pretty damn good game. Madman says local police tried doing this for cold cases, but changed the names to protect the innocent. That's pretty wild. That would kind of make sense too, a little bit, you know? Bring in the amateur sleuths, give Columbo a hand. So, hey, I was gonna say, when you're playing Last Resort, you can always put the Eagles song, "The Last Resort," on, and enjoy that. It's actually one of my favorite Eagles songs of all time. Okay, so if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already, and if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central right here on YouTube. It'll also let you know when I upload other videos, such as my recent review for Pan Am from Funko Games. If you were watching live, thank you very much. Always appreciate that. If you took part in chat while watching live, bonus experience points for you. I'm telling you, you're getting very close to leveling up. Very close. Of course, I know a lot of people out there, they don't have an opportunity to watch live. Doesn't matter how you watch any of the videos on the Gaming Gang channel. Live, Memorex, however, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy lives to take a peek at the videos here on the channel. All right, I will be back tomorrow. Once again, as I mentioned, we're going to take a look at Magnet from Naylor Games. Everybody enjoy the rest of your morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it happens to be in your neck of the woods. And I always hope that each and every one of you always gets to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang. See you tomorrow. Oh, hey, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel by clicking right here. Check out the latest episode of the Gaming Gang Dispatch, or find out what YouTube recommends you check out from the channel. And of course, once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thanks for watching.